You don't think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. And look, hear me out. I respect Crawford and everything that he's doing, but he just moved up from 147, so I'm just going to treat him as
That's why you got to watch the fight so you can see.
I'll get a message to Canelo.
See you soon.
A Bud Crawford, who's nowhere near a Williams School. School just ran. He didn't try to win that fight. Bud's going to try to win the fight. He's going to have the footwork. He's going to have the hand speed. He's going to have, maybe not the power of Canelo, but he's going to have respect.
The boxing world has been sent into a frenzy. The announcement that Terence Bud Crawford will face the Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez has lit the fuse on one of the most controversial debates in recent boxing history. And at the center of this storm, none other than the rising welterweight king, Jaron Ennis, who has not minced his words when it comes to Crawford's decision. With a voice filled with disbelief, Ennis has called Crawford's move foolish, and the reasoning behind that statement has fight fans divided down the middle.
I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, to fill into somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that.
Before we dive deep into why Ennis believes Crawford made a huge mistake, let's set the stage. Terence Crawford is coming off a career-defining victory against Errol Spence Jr., a fight that many predicted would be close, but turned out to be a one-sided masterclass from Bud. He's now regarded as arguably the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. But instead of defending his undisputed welterweight title or taking on the next big challenge in his natural weight class, Crawford has chosen to go up, way up, to face the undisputed super middleweight king, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, on the other hand, is a man who has made a career out of dismantling opponents across multiple divisions. From his epic battles with Gennady Golovkin to his complete domination of Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Callum Smith, Canelo has proven time and again that size, strength, and skill make him one of the most dangerous men in boxing. And he's naturally much bigger than Crawford, which is exactly why Jaron Ennis believes this fight is not just risky, but outright reckless. According to Ennis, the size gap is more than just a small obstacle. It's a mountain. Look, Ennis said in a recent interview, Crawford is a great fighter, one of the best of this era. But fighting Canelo? That's a whole different level. Canelo's a natural super middleweight. He walks around heavy, he's strong, and he knows how to use that weight. Crawford might be the better pure boxer, but when you're dealing with someone who's got that much size and power, all it takes is one shot. Ennis isn't alone in his criticism. Several boxing analysts have echoed his concerns, pointing out that moving up in weight classes has historically been one of the most dangerous moves a fighter can make, especially when the jump is as big as Crawford's. Even greats like Roy Jones Jr., who famously went up to heavyweight to beat John Ruiz, later admitted that the toll it took on their bodies was significant. And unlike Jones, Crawford is not fighting an average champion in a higher weight class. He's fighting one of the most feared champions in the sport. But let's not forget, Terence Crawford is no stranger to defying the odds. This is the man who became undisputed at 140, unified at 147, and dismantled elite competition with surgical precision. His skill set is built on adaptability, speed, timing, and ring IQ, weapons that many believe could cause Canelo real problems. In fact, some fans think this could be a repeat of what Floyd Mayweather did to Canelo back in 2013, using pure boxing skill to neutralize size and power. Ennis, however, isn't convinced. Mayweather fought Canelo when he was young and inexperienced, Ennis pointed out. This is not the same Canelo. This Canelo has seen it all. He's faced every style you can think of. Crawford might be sharper, but when those gloves start landing from a bigger man, your game plan changes real quick. Adding fuel to the fire, some in the boxing world believe that Crawford is making this move for legacy and for money. A fight with Canelo is guaranteed to be one of the biggest paydays of Crawford's career, if not the biggest. But big paydays come with big risks. For Crawford, a loss could damage his aura of invincibility. For Canelo, it's another opportunity to cement his dominance and possibly add another legendary name to his resume. We also have to consider the psychological aspect. Canelo has been here before, fighting smaller men who dared to step up. Remember Amir Khan? He was outboxing Canelo early, but one perfectly timed right hand sent him into the canvas in devastating fashion. Many fear Crawford could meet the same fate if he gets caught trying to exchange in the wrong moment. And then there's the issue of stamina. Moving up in weight isn't just about putting on muscle. It's about carrying that extra mass into the later rounds. Against someone like Canelo, who methodically breaks down opponents and throws with full power, any drop in stamina can be fatal. Ennis stressed this point, saying, "People think Crawford's gas tank will be the same, but it won't. Carrying extra weight slows you down. And if you slow down against Canelo, he'll find you." Still, Crawford supporters point to his adaptability. He's a master of switching stances, controlling distance, and using angles to frustrate even the most aggressive opponents. If he can keep Canelo turning, force him to reset, and avoid the ropes, he could theoretically outbox him for 12 rounds. But as we've seen time and time again, theory and reality in boxing are often worlds apart. This fight is more than just a clash of champions. It's a clash of philosophies. Is greatness about taking the toughest challenges regardless of risk? Or is it about fighting smart, dominating your division, and avoiding unnecessary dangers? Jaron Ennis clearly believes it's the latter. "If I'm Crawford, I'm focusing on cleaning out 147, Ennis said. "There's still work to do here. Why skip over the best in your division to fight a guy who's naturally 2 weight classes above you?" The boxing community is split. Some see Crawford as a fearless warrior, ready to cement his place among the all-time greats. Others see him as a man walking into a trap set by a bigger, stronger, and equally skilled opponent. Either way, when that first bell rings, all the talk will be over, and we'll find out if this was a genius move, or the mistake the boxing world has been sent into a frenzy. The announcement that Terence "Bud" Crawford will face the Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez has lit the fuse on one of the most controversial debates in recent boxing history. And at the center of this storm? None other than the rising welterweight king, Jaron Ennis, who has not minced his words when it comes to Crawford's decision. With a voice filled with disbelief, Ennis has called Crawford's move foolish, and the reasoning behind that statement has fight fans divided down the middle. Before we dive deep into why Ennis believes Crawford made a huge mistake, let's set the stage. Terence Crawford is coming off a career-defining victory against Errol Spence Jr., a fight that many predicted would be close, but turned out to be a one-sided masterclass from Bud. He's now regarded as arguably the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. But instead of defending his undisputed welterweight title or taking on the next big challenge in his natural weight class, Crawford has chosen to go up, way up, to face the undisputed super middleweight king, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, on the other hand, is a man who has made a career out of dismantling opponents across multiple divisions. From his epic battles with Gennady Golovkin to his complete domination of Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders, and Callum Smith, Canelo has proven time and again that size, strength, and skill make him one of the most dangerous men in boxing. And there you have it. The boxing world is split right down the middle. Some say Terence Crawford is chasing greatness, cementing his place as one of the all-time greats by stepping up to face the bigger, stronger Canelo Alvarez.
I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power.
Others, like Jaron Ennis, believe this move is nothing short of reckless, a foolish risk that could cost Crawford everything he's worked for. But that's the beauty and the danger of boxing. It's a sport where one punch can change a career, where legacies are written not just in victories, but in the risks fighters are willing to take. Crawford knows the odds. He knows the size difference. He knows Canelo's power, and yet, he's still walking straight into the fire. So the question remains, is this bravery, or is this madness? Is Crawford about to shock the world, or hand Canelo one of the biggest wins of his career? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, when the bell rings, the talking stops, and the truth will be written in blood, sweat, and the roar of the crowd. This is more than just a fight. This is history in the making.